So here we are continuing with the tradition. This is stuff that I did the other night while not recording audio. We're going to run this multi-crew mission again, except this time we're going to be certain that we actually do have all three of our passengers, really, this time. Tabular Ken, Higgs Boson, and Floyd Lavender. We're going to send these three up to the Adventure Space Station. This is something that I've never had to bother before whenever using just a plain old regular size Kerbin, but you know, waiting for the space station to be at a particular place before launching. But, you know, the last time we had to wait like 2 days before we could do the rendezvous maneuver. This launch went crazy. I was worrying too much about the inclination, and I pushed it too hard, and it went drastically unstable, and honestly, we're seriously considering a whole abort scenario. But at the last possible minute, second, instant, the whole thing settled down, and we're able to regain control and managed to get up into orbit like normal. Yeah, also, I'm not taking these three Kerbals up there in the capsule. I'm actually decided, hey, I can put the habitation module onto the space station. So, yeah, here we are. Had to go, you know, the first time in attempting to launch into a close rendezvous at that space station, that was just kind of a blind guess. I overshot it, went to a higher orbit and had to wait for it to catch up. Went through the whole process, rendezvous and docking, you know, swinging around trying to align with the docking port that I want, and it ended up with one of the ugliest docks that I've personally ever done, and that is saying something. I should have paid more attention. Ka-thud, bang. I knocked welds loose all through the whole structure. Oh, well, hey, look, I was halfway off of it. Whole docking port, and we're going to attach. It's like a good 15 degrees up angled. Maybe that's not quite that much, but in any case, ugly, but we eventually got there. Tabular Ken, he looks happy about it, so that's cool. It's too bad we didn't get the other portraits over there. Yeah, I also decided to take the opportunity to more finely tune the station's orbit. Try to put it, you know, exactly equatorial, and try to get as close as possible to 200 kilometers. Here, went through, you know, tried to stage the first time, it didn't work, and I had to do the whole right-click menu, and it worked then. I'm still not certain what went wrong that time. Do the burn to drop the drop Spork 10 back down to 100 kilometers, since I don't want to attempt doing the re-entry straight from 200. Not for now. We'll try that later. You may just see how incredibly cool the station looks flying off screen. Looks exactly like a science fiction movie. Thank you very much. And so there's our three first in-orbit crew. So that's what happened last time around. Now here's what's going to happen this time around. We'll start the live commentary. Here we have our three Kerbals, Floyd Lavender, Higgs Boson, Kerbin. That was excellent timing, Higgs Boson. He's kind of stolid. He's not really excited about anything. He's just waving. Tabular Ken, whose camera appears very wobbly. I'm not certain why that is wobbling around quite so much. Well, I'm always hitting the wrong buttons. That's what I wanted to do. This is Tabular Ken's view from the inside of the cupola, attached to the station, which always that's kind of cool. And of course the more familiar view from the other two guys who are going who are inside the actual capsule. Come on, can I get out of here? Pull back, come back. Come on, camera. Camera is arguing with me. There we go. It's kind of scary. I was starting to be concerned that I was, like, not going to be able to get out of there. So the plan is, Tabular Ken is actually going to, you see, he's in this module. He's going to remain on the station for now. We'll risk it. We'll risk having a Kerbal up here for a little bit with no lifeboat. While these two are going to take this vehicle and are going to decouple from the station, and they're going to just make certain, you know, take it for a test drive, make certain that the thing can re-enter and land and get them both back to ground. Yeah, Floyd is happy about that. Good job, Floyd. We like Floyd. But not quite yet. Not right now. First, we want to go with Spork 10. Whoops, no, that was wrong. No, unset target and switch to. That's what I wanted. First, we have got a re-entry that we have to fly with this thing. See, as I record this, Ferrum is aware of the issue where in updating the game to 2.3.5 that we no longer get an equivalent airspeed indication up here above the nav ball. But we don't have a fix for it yet. My understanding is that in the updated game version, they changed something. They changed like how the information gets sent there, so I need to fix that. Which means, see, I've got this theory in my head that the way to fly a re-entry and do it, you know, consistently, reliably, would be to attempt to maintain the same equivalent airspeed all the way through re-entry. Figure out what equivalent airspeed we could fly at that would allow us to keep control of the aircraft and would not be too hot. Maybe my understanding of the theory could be a little bit off. It's possible. It's happened before. I'm going to put a maneuver node right there. We'll start as re-entry right over there. But that's the way I want to try it. But the equivalent airspeed indication is not working at the moment, so we can't really do that. So okay, yeah, this re-entry, we're just gonna fake it like last time. The time before that, actually, which I don't think I recorded any of it. I'm thinking that I am using, see if we can go to the, I keep on hitting the wrong button. Why do I do that? We have a much better interior view. We've got a modded interior view for this, the Mark II cockpit that we have in this thing. Oh, I love this. I'm not quite confident enough yet. I need to practice flying with this thing with the alternate gauges and stuff, but I do want to be able to fly a whole re-entry and landing with this thing from the internal view. However, I don't know. I don't feel quite confident with it yet, so. Yeah, may have burned a little bit too much, but I felt the need to be kind of a little bit more aggressive on our descent than we have been in the past. See, like our first time going through and actually practicing doing the whole re-entry with this thing, successful re-entry, we kept control. It took a long time. It's like 35 minutes all told. So I'm going to kind of cut that time down now that I know that I can be a little more aggressive about some of this stuff. Okay, stage, get rid of all that junk. I said stage, thank you very much. You notice you can barely see the vehicle icon against whenever you have the white of the clouds. What we need is for those things to be modded. You know, you can barely look. If I do it this way, you can barely see the station, can't see our vehicle. We need those just to be a different color, higher contrast, or even just put like a black border around them, you know? That would work. Vertical speed approaching 100. Okay, let's kill that time warp. Thank you. Okay, things starting to get hot at this point. Let me turn my thermometer on. Zoom back. And yeah, leave the SAS on, and let's get the vertical speed under control. Yeah, vertical speed down into the single digits. Temperature kind of stabilizing, so we're just going to kind of hold it here. Yeah, there we go. Whoop, don't climb. I don't want to climb. Yeah, 800 degrees Celsius is good. Even 1,000 degrees Celsius is good. We don't want to let it get too far above 1,000. Things start going pop then. Yeah, just hold it nice and steady here. I suppose another technique that I could try, we'll see if we just get this, we have that temperature gauge, is I could try to fly re-entry and just see what it takes to maintain a constant temperature here. There's kind of stable-ish at this moment. Do I dare look at the map? Yeah, let's look at the map for a second. Okay, yeah, I recognize that peninsula. I know where I am. Which means I need to get my thermometer going again. Come on. There we go. Which means I need to start pitching back some more. Oh, vertical speed approaching negative 100. See what happens if you look away for just a second. Although the moonrise does look kind of cool. Temperature is going to blow right past 850. Keep going. pitch back more. Our vertical speed. Okay, we're getting started and get our descent under control. Looks like we're probably going to exceed 1,000 degrees. Well, maybe not. It's slowing down. Yeah, there's just over 1,000. And we've got a climb going again. Cool it off some. Need to remember also looking at that Mach number, what I figured out. I figured out a couple of re-entries ago that maybe one general rule of thumb that may work is I want to slow this thing down to Mach 10 before allowing it to drop below 50 kilometers altitude. So, yeah, and we're just below Mach 15 at this point, so we are not there yet. Really, as fun as a whole lot of the crashes are in this game, I really kind of like the idea. Can we continue to operate this launcher and not crash it? Imagine the possibilities. And there's still, it's a very, very simple design. There are things that I could do to attempt to increase the stability of this vehicle, you know. But the very simplicity of it appealed to me as I was designing it. You know, just straight cylindrical body and the one-piece wings, one simple polygon for the wings. Okay, vertical speed. See, I glanced away for a little bit as I don't know what I was looking at. But that thing approached 100, and still it's increasing. Come on, let's keep that nose up. And we're well over 1,000 degrees, approaching 1,100. Starting to get kind of unstable in yaw again. So I'm pulling the nose up. Yeah, but here at 1,080 degrees Celsius, we're still good. Dropping down to Mach 9. And we're cooling off some. That's good. Last time, see, I think I didn't record. I mean, I recorded, but I decided none of the footage was interesting enough to include in the video. Last time, I actually did land on Africa, but not on Kerbal Space Center. I think maybe going for something similar this time. Interestingly enough, the re-entry effects, although the temperature is still up there about the same, around that 1,000, re-entry effects are significantly less. So, it's, you know, which one do I believe? How dramatic the re-entry effects look, or the actual reading on the temperature gauge? Speaking of, it's getting too hot again. Come on, pull up more. Pull back, pull back. Now here's interesting. We're starting to see some brighter, more dramatic re-entry effects, even though our temperature is well below 1,000. I'm really not certain how the whole relationship is between. I mean, my understanding was that Deadly Reentry was the mod is based upon the game, you know, the stock games, the re-entry effects. I could be mistaken about that, as I am mistaken about so many things. Because, you know, we're going to reach the land. We're going to go a little bit past the beach for go inland to fairways, but I think that Kerbal Space Center itself is looking kind of unlikely this time around. Because really, at this point in the whole re-entry, I would have been wanting to start thinking about my landing approach. I think maybe a lesson to be learned is that the slightly more aggressive deorbit burn that I did, they have the steeper initial re-entry, that works just fine. This thing has plenty, it has enough glide, enough pitch control that I can get away with a much steeper initial re-entry. So I should work around with, you know, that, and you know, and we have to wait until much later in the orbit. So we can afford waiting until a whole lot closer to KSC before actually doing the re-entry. What happens when we get away with turning off the SAS now? Yeah, that feels better. Pretty soon I'm going to slow down to subsonic. Suppose we can do away with the temperature gauge now. We don't need that. Good. Whoop, more. Yeah, okay, so it's trying to pitch up a little bit as we're going through the whole transonic range. Gets, you know, I won't say it goes unstable, but it's slightly less stable than it was before. Yeah, pitch control gets a little ticklish. Check out this mod, the trim indicators. We've got a second little. See, we got the one control that shows what the actual control deflection is, but we've got the second arrow is the trim. Oh, hang on. Let's pay attention to what I'm doing. Trying to not controlling the airplane while trying to talk about the mod. Yeah, it's kind of dumb. And again, it is at this point that I would very much like to have a functioning EAS indicator, because that would be helpful for trying to do consistent, controllable landings. I mean, it isn't really necessary, especially when you're dealing with a vehicle like this that is, you know, has nice landing manners, but it would be a very useful and comfortable thing to have. But I don't know. Ferrum's going to fix it. We'll get it back later. Okay, so we pull up, so the nose we're pointing it like fairly straight. And this means we're starting to bleed off altitude. Remember, when you're landing in an airplane, glider as the case may be, the goal is always that you want to be just above the stall speed, right as you touch the ground. All right, there we are. Lower the nose and hit the brakes. And stop. Hit the parking brake. Good job, Jeb. How you feeling? Jeb is not smiling. Jeb does not like landing. Come on, Jeb. It's a decent landing, dude. Especially with no airspeed indicator. Come on. He gives me one solitary clap. Clap. Good job. All right, yeah. Where are we? Yeah, we're over here. Kind of undershot it some, huh? It's all right. I'm going to make it work. Okay, well, now we'll do the, yeah, we'll get back to, yeah, here we'll recover the vessel, and we'll get back and we'll go to the 3 Kerbal capsule, and we're going to do a reentry test on that one. Yeah, we'll be back with that. Okay, here we are back at Adventure Station. Here's Floyd Lavender, here's Higgs Boson, Tabular Ken, still working, these two still very, very stoic. Maybe they'll get more excited later, I don't know. See, I think that this whole module, that this vehicle, it's meant to serve as, you know, an emergency lifeboat, and also just as a regular routine way to get Kerbals down out of orbit. You know, up to 3 of them. We're just going to run 2 Kerbals this time. I think it doesn't need engines. I believe, you know, we've got, you know, we have, you know, significant amounts of monopropellant inside of there. By the way, I need to enable that. I really didn't want to burn that off earlier. And I think that should be enough to deorbit it. So we just want to demonstrate the feasibility of this plan. Got the best seat in the house, looking at all this stuff. Hey, what's that? It's got what looks suspiciously like a picture of 2 Kerbals on the moon, even though none of my Kerbals have gone into the moon. How do you get that picture? Call a hoax is what I call. You know, these 2 don't have quite as exciting a view. Oh, it's not bad. A little bit of planet there. Yeah, I think there's nothing else that really needs to be done. Here, the SAS is on. RCS is on. Let's go ahead and decouple. Undock, whatever you're going to call it. Bang. Good. Okay, wait a second. Go ahead and turn our SAS on. RCS on. Thrust backward just a little bit. That was interesting. After I let go of the button, it looked like it continued to thrust for a second. That was kind of unusual. Guess we are not going to use need the FAR window up at all, are we? Okay. Maneuver around some. Actually, don't need to RCS on just to maneuver. Yeah, line it retrograde. Oh, that's right. Did I turn the... Yeah, turn that torque back on. There we go. Yeah, I was trying to steer and it wasn't steering. I turned that off because it was having some controllability issues with the station a little bit earlier. Floyd's waving. Says, bye-bye, station. Bye-bye. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I think I want to drop our orbit down to 100 kilometers, just like we did with the it's not the shuttle, with Spork 10. So here we go. And take a look. Yeah, it's just sipping at that at the monopropellant while we get watching numbers scroll by. The periapsis. This should definitely work. And there goes our station. Adventure. I predict that you're going to be a good station. We're going to have many good adventures are going to begin and end there. Ah, Higgs boson. Yeah, as soon as we start flying, Higgs boson. He's up. He's excited about it. Floyd is also doing pretty good. He's not quite as excited as Higgs boson is. The guy's named after a particle. I believe that's what that is anyway. Oh yeah, we have plenty of RCS. Look at how fast. How fast our apoapsis height, how fast that number is changing, and how little RCS it's taking, how little monopropellant, I should say. All right, there's close enough to circular, right at 100 kilometers. Hey, there's the big crater. It's probably the most easily recognizable landmark from low Kerbin orbit, other than Kerbal Space Center itself. So at what point, man, I keep on turning these things off, and they keep turning back on. I don't want to see the orbit marks for all those rocks. There we go. So, using this capsule, again, this is going to be kind of a blind guess. At what point do I want to do the actual deorbit burn? Probably, that's... Yeah, we'll call it... This will be a landmark to be kind of easy to remember. Probably when we get over... Yeah, over this stretch of water between these two, you're pretty close to that periapsis, and we'll aim for, you know, a little bit past Kerbal Space Center. All right, let's do it. Let's do more time compression. Yeah, right here. Okay, aim this straight retrograde. Okay, and we'll be looking for at what point does that line get into the water, and let's start thrusting. And see our periapsis descending. This is one of the things that really interests me about using a rescaled mod. You know, we'll call it, I don't know, I want to call it rescaled. The actual name of the mod is Real Solar System, since that was the original aim. But all these things which you could have done so many times, you practiced and you worked it out, you know, in the stock game, or even stock plus FAR and deadly reentry. A lot of these still don't really transfer over necessarily to working the same way in this whole rescaled thing. So I like the fact that we're having to kind of start over from scratch a great deal. Still thrusting away. We're just getting down close to about half of our monopropellant remaining. So what I want to get this line to right, you'll call it right here, about halfway between our two land masses. Okay, slightly over half of our monopropellant, but still, that's plenty acceptable to me. It's right here. Okay, we'll call that good. Yeah. Okay, we're starting to approach atmosphere, but we are not there yet. Let's make certain that we've got our staging set up correctly. What's this decoupler? Oh, that's that decoupler. We do not have our staging set up correctly. Could have been a fiasco. Okay, so yeah, the first decoupler gets rid of our whole RCS tank and the solar panels. Goodbye. But still, we have some RCS in here, and we still have some RCS thrusters if we really needed them for something. And the second decoupler, this one gets rid of our docking port and exposes the parachute. Here we go. And that works just fine. And the remaining stage that deploys the parachute and also releases our heat shield. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to turn the SAS off, just because I can see it's burning some electricity. We don't have a whole lot of electricity to spare, and the way this should work, you know what, let's turn the FAR panel back on just so I can watch the Mach number change. The way this should work is that the aerodynamic properties of this thing is it should just naturally orient itself heat shield first into the wind. So I haven't trimmed anything, and it looks like it is working. Good. I'm not touching any controls at all. Matter of fact, let's go and unplug the joystick just to make certain that I'm not accidentally putting any phantom forces into it. Oh, if I was thinking, I would have remembered I should have left Spork 10 sitting there so we could wave hello to it as we went flying past. I should have done that. I'll try to remember that next time. Floyd, okay, Higgs boson, for all he was happy earlier about flying in space, he is really uncertain about this whole reentry business. Oh, now he's starting to smile some. Okay. Wow, okay, he has mood swings. Higgs boson has mood swings. Got about half a G of deceleration. Yeah, the line's going to start moving some. Yep, we're starting to lose some of the... Yeah, this ablative shielding, this is the resource that I have on that one. So that's our heat shield. It loses the ablative resource as it dissipates heat and protects the rest of the vehicle. Ooh, and I can see Kerbal Space Center. Looks like we may have judged this pretty well, you know that? Hit it the first time. Good demonstration of how much easier capsules are. Maybe how stupid I am for insisting to keep on working with these space planes all the time. Yep, getting up to 1,000. See, but that part, the way that works, that part's approaching 1,000. This should be significantly less. Yeah, it's barely up to 200. So, good heat shield. Good boy. 3 Gs of deceleration. G-force is really picking up. 4 Gs of deceleration. Heat shield, that overheat. There's 5 Gs. Oh, maybe we need to go for a more gradual descent, huh? 6 Gs. Our guys don't look happy at the moment. Yeah, Floyd's fidgeting. He's not real comfortable with that. It looks like we're not going to quite hit 7 Gs, maybe? Anyway, this appears to be... Okay, yeah, there's 7 Gs. But I think our G-forces are tapering off now. Oh yeah, we aimed... Look how well we aimed this. Look at that. Come on. Oh, that's just about excellent, isn't it? Yeah, that's just about perfect. First time. Capsules are so easy. That's why people do rockets and capsules and stuff. Yeah, G-force is slowing down. Looks like we're actually going to undershoot KSC a little bit. Not going to quite get there. Tell you what, when we drop below 10 kilometers altitude, that's when we'll pop the parachute. I also wanted it to slow down and get subsonic before I do that. I'm thinking I use just the default settings on that parachute. I hope it works. Yeah, slowing down, about to go subsonic. How tall are these mountains over here? Yeah, we'll tell you what, we're below 10 kilometers above ground level. Let's go ahead and do that. So we got some parachutes to pick up our G-forces again, slow us down nicely. Is that they should have? Did that heat shield drop? Yeah, heat shield dropped off of there. But yeah, yeah, it's kind of a long hike, but it's you could call it walking distance of Kerbal Space Center. So not bad for a first try, you know. And, you know, got up to 7 Gs, which is uncomfortable, but, you know, Kerbals are tough. I'm certain they can take that. That seems, for deceleration-wise, that seems acceptable to me. And there's, okay, one parachute is inflating and the other is not. This concerns me. I don't like that. Why is it doing that? I mean, I'm glad it is. I thought I heard the boom of the heat shield hitting the ground down there. We're definitely descending slow enough. Cut main chute, cut secondary chute, cut both chutes. I think I need to read up on this some more. Which one's the main, which one's the secondary? Altitude. Well, we're definitely not going to try it out now. Only 150 meters up. Yeah, I need to read up on the real chutes mod some more to figure that out. I bet you one of these is a drogue. I bet you this is a drogue chute and this is the main. That's what I bet you. But in any case, should land us down. Thud. All right. Floyd, Higgs boson. Yeah, Floyd says, "Hey man, I'm back home." Floyd's all happy about that. Higgs boson jiggled his hands a little bit. I can't figure you out, Higgs boson. Sometimes you're real happy. Sometimes you're hardly happy at all. Oh look, it popped the parachutes out from the side. Isn't that interesting? Okay. All right. We're gonna recover this one. That was a whole bunch of successful stuff there. Okay, so he's recording a little bit. We'll come back with our next, slightly more ambitious part of this project. I'll talk to you then.